It's really been a whole year since Sun and Moon sucks, eh? Well, a little more than a year. I wanted to have this video done by the anniversary of the original, but admittedly, I got a little lazy. Kind of like Game Freak with the sorry-ass excuse of a— Oh, sorry. I haven't even started the video yet and I'm already losing my temper. Well, anyway, to be honest, it took me a lot of reflection to figure out how exactly I wanted to go about this video. I mean, I knew that there was a good chance that I was going to make something like this ever since the game was announced, but the question was, how? Do I make it satire? Do I actually take it seriously? I've been asking these questions for a long time, and I think I've finally found my answer. I'll just do what the devs did. Enjoy, everyone. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Ultra sucks.
Okay, imagine that you're really hungry and you're watching your friend bake you a cake. Okay, can you imagine that for me? Thank you. Okay, so you watch him add the flour—
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Not gonna stoop to that level. So, as you can tell from my hilarious joke, the first thing you need to know about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that they are essentially the same game as Sun and Moon. Of course, I expected that to some extent when I bought this game, since it's one of those weird third game in a gen games, where they only change a few things and resell the game, even if it's already proven that these games are capable of not being carbon copies. But I don't think I could possibly anticipate that it would be this bad. If I'm gonna be honest, this video probably won't end up being as lengthy or as funny as my original video, because most of the shit I can make fun of in this game is also the shit I made fun of in the original Sun and Moon, because there's so little new material that I have run out of stuff to make fun of. I guess I'll start with how little the game has actually improved then. Almost none. The plot's pretty much identical until the last 2 hours of playtime. Every environment, outside of the first route, which was advertised in the trailers as being new and colorful, is the same. It's awful. In my first hour of playthrough, I could maybe count the differences between Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and Sun and Moon on one hand. And pretty much all of those changes are cosmetic too. Wow, I can't believe I spent $40 on a feeling of nihilistic dread and for a Nintendo Switch in my trainer's room. Sorry bud, Xenoblade 2 doesn't release for another week and a half. Sucks to suck. I wanted this game to be different. I wanted some kind of justification for my $40. I really did. I wanted Lily or Hao or whoever these bozos are to jump out of the bushes at some point and say, alright, enough of this dumb shit, here's the real game. But that moment never came. Yes, there are differences from these games and the originals, I will admit that. But most of the time they're so small and meaningless that they don't even feel like real additions. They just feel like, oh, let's tack this shit on so they'll buy the game again type deals. They're so insignificant that I can barely remember most of them. Pretty sure that a lot of them were, once again, purely cosmetic. Like one cutscene gets slightly altered and one battle happens 20 minutes later than usual. Oh god, I have so much beef about the lack of new content that I actually don't know what to do next. I'm out of content to gripe about in record time. Whoa, I've got it. Let's check the official website. Aw yeah, surely they'll have a list of self-proclaimed new and noteworthy features that we can talk shit about. A new battle facility, the battle agency, wow, it's just the battle factory again. I've already done this battle facility BS 1,000 times. I grinded for 2 hours against your shitty CPU battle tree teams once, Sun and Moon. For a fucking Destiny knot. I don't want to do it again. Give me the battle frontier back and we'll be Gucci. Remember when you teased it in ORAS for no reason and then gave us this? I remember. I'm not gonna forget that easily. Collect BP and learn new moves. No. I never want to play in a metagame where everyone has the same annoying ass move like knockoff ever again. Fuck you, ORAS. Fuck you for teaching everyone— Hold on, there's a new hip tutor move that everyone's mad about? Shoot, what do we got? I've got some stuff to say about this, but I'll wait to talk about comp shit until the end like I did last time. Regardless, this gets an F2. Collect totem stickers. No one asked for this. Literally no one. I could pull everyone I have ever met in my life over what they'd want in a remake of Sun and Moon, and I can guarantee you that not one of them would ever want this. Out of those who know what Pokemon is, at least. It'll surely shock your opponents to see you using these oversized totem-like Pokemon in battle. More like it'll surely shock me if you can make a good game again. Ride the waves with Mantine Surf. I will admit, Mantine Surf was the first real notable addition that I can say I enjoyed. At first. The 2010 core whatever the fuck is this music gave me an excuse to unmute the game, and I had an okay time with my first Mantine Surf. Then I had to go back to a previous island to catch a Pokemon before I had Fly. So then I had to do it again 2 more times. That made me want to die. I'll give this one a D+, I guess. Dash around Alola with Are you fucking kidding me? We could already do this. Look, I said it in my last video, but I'll say it again. Nobody liked Tauros. No one liked breaking their circle pads in whatever kind of motorcycle death cage this bullshit is. No one wanted this instead of the bike. Just bike, man. Give us the bike back. New Z moves. I didn't ask, I don't care. What's a Z move? The reason I have depression. Next. New Z moves for Solgaleo and Lunala. Once again, I don't care. New Z moves for Mimikyu. Well, this is what we spent our $40 on, folks. New Z moves for Mimikyu that are 5 base power higher than Mimikyu's normal Z moves. Fucking incredible. More fun with the Z Power Ring. Okay, let's be real. Whoever wrote these up probably has the worst job in the world. We've seen like more than a few of these so far be either stuff from the last game or stuff that no one cares about. It's like they locked them in a room and said, hey, play through this game and make incredibly detailed notes on new features, and they had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find this stuff. A powered up Rotom okay, you know what? We're taking a break from the website just to talk about this guy. It's no secret that a lot of additions to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon made the game worse. Rotom Dex is probably the worst offender. Think back for a second. How did you feel about Rotom Dex on your initial playthrough of Sun and Moon? He was a little quirky, kind of annoying, but not too often. Having the minimap take up the entire bottom screen was a bit weird, but acceptable, I guess. Now think, what can we do to make him the most insufferable asshole in the history of God's kingdom? Make him talk every 10 seconds. I don't even know if this is a glitch or what. Literally, every time I exit a battle, every time I close out of my bag, every time I blink, this fucker hits me with, here's advice you didn't ask for! Zzz. I'll admit, the first time that popped up, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, ha ha ha, it's funny because it's self-aware. And then it never stopped. My entire playthrough, he hits me with that exact same line at least once or twice a minute. I timed it. I fucking timed it. I played through this game for 30 minutes straight. How many times did he say that? 32 times. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And whatever this Roto-Loto bullshit is, I don't want it. I've never used it before, and all it does is distract me by having this asshole's eyes flash yellow once every 5 minutes. And Rotom powers are just O powers, but worse. Do you remember O powers? I actually wish I could have those back at this point. I really do. So to conclude this incredibly bitter recess, Rotom Dex has become unlikable, annoying, and pretty much useless. I can't imagine why anyone would Oh my god. Alright, none of the rest of this shit was worth going through. It's all stuff that was in the last game. I mean, admittedly the photo club looks decent, but I don't think I've found the motivation to actually use it. But do you get the point? Most of these self-proclaimed quote-unquote new features are either stuff from the original game, useless shit, or things no one cares about. And all the things that would have made the game actually feel like it's worth the money? Gone. New Alola forms? None. New wild Pokemon? Very, very few. 3D that actually worked? Nope. Battles that don't lag? Nada. We got this instead. Despite this, most of the game's actual additions add nothing to or flat out hamper the gameplay experience. But hey, at least replaying Alola was fun, right? For a while, I thought I was overly bitter with my original Sun and Moon Sucks video. Maybe I just played the game through too quickly and didn't savor the experience. Maybe a second playthrough would be more enjoyable. Maybe the game would be a lot better and I wouldn't have to make a video on, okay, yeah, fuck you. My second playthrough of Gen 7 just made me absolutely despise it. I usually finish new Pokemon games in like 1 or 2 weeks tops because, I mean, they're fun to play through and I can usually keep up my motivation to finish the game. Well, at the time of writing the script, which at the time of recording was 2 months ago, it's 4 o'clock on January 30th, 2018 and I just got off Ula Ula Island. Jesus. This game has been out for 74 days at the time of writing, and I'd honestly rather die than play it at this point. Yes, this does mean I'm writing a good portion of my script without beating the whole game yet, but something tells me that my opinion probably won't change, which it didn't. Rewatching my old video, I did have some praise for Sun and Moon, surprisingly. I spent a good portion talking about how the new environments and music were pretty decent. Well, replaying the game again, I can now say for certain that I want to go back in time and execute myself so I never had to say that. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and by extension Sun and Moon, have the blandest environments I've ever seen in a Pokemon game. There's almost no differentiation between areas, and the routes seem almost identical. The music is just fucking horrible as well. Okay, look, they reuse the same 5 songs for every single route. Literally, 5 songs. Pokemon games have always had really nice, memorable environments at times, and even all these years later, you know, stuff like Village Bridge, the snow route from Diamond Pearl, like, shit like that, it sticks with me. So what can Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon give us in terms of good environment, music, and aesthetic? Grass. More grass. Grass. Oh, look at this one's a desert. And that's the most boring part of the game. Grass. Even more grass. Oh, wait, hold on. This one's a garden? Whoa! And then you've got a soundtrack that sounds like this. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's environments are ugly. No other words can describe them. I mean, I spent pretty much my entire playthrough wishing I was playing Black and White 2 again, where the environments actually felt lively and expansive. Having to deal with all this shit for a second time while desperately searching for a better game that wasn't even there in the first place made me despise every second I spent playing this game. And you know what? Remember when I said I got off Ula Ula Island? I had to look that up to make sure that name was right. I'm usually pretty good at naming the towns from Gen 1 through Gen 5 and maybe Gen 6, but I legitimately cannot name any of these towns. Not a single environment stood out to me. There's just no atmosphere at all. Alola just feels empty. Replaying the Island Challenge has done nothing but serve to remind me how much I hated it. And you know what? I think I found out why. In gym battles, you had to test your strength against trainers and gym leaders in order to prove your worth, with maybe a bit of puzzle solving on the side. But totem Pokemon? None of that. Most of the time, totem Pokemon are not tough. They are annoying. Usually, they focus on a single gimmick like raising all their stats, spamming healing moves, or being a Rockwinnit in order to make 10-year-olds think, "Oh damn, this guy's really tough!" When in reality, it's just mind-numbing garbage. It's like, okay, you know that one kid in elementary school who was like, "I'm the best at Pokemon. No one can beat me." Everyone knows a kid like that. And so you're like, alright, sure, I'll beat that ass. And so you zone in on him, and his first Pokemon is a Cresselia who only uses Double Team. And then laughs in your face every time an attack misses. Calder, if you're watching this, then I haven't forgotten you. And I want to apologize. I really did you wrong in 5th grade. If you ever come across this video, contact me at @PatternScreamer on Instagram or Twitter. I want to make it up to you. Anyway. Okay, so point is, I've fully realized that Island Trials aren't exactly a good replacement for gyms. Even with a few changes. A few trials were rebuilt, and a lot of the first few totems were changed for no reason. Of course, except for this fucker. Remember when I said that this asshole's trial was okay? God damn, that was probably the funniest joke in the whole video. Okay. Pop quiz. Which would you rather consider a better challenge? A trainer with several Pokemon, all with good movesets, coverage, and abilities? Or,
"Oh, me Lurantis, me call upon cast form every turn, me use Synthesis, me use Solar Blade."
the problem should be pretty obvious. And yes, I do need to get good. Thanks for asking. Remember when I said that Sun and Moon was a story-based game and that the story was decent? Well, I shouldn't even need to say anything here. Whatever kind of new story they shoved down our throats with Necrozma makes no sense. I mean, it's not even a new story, really. Almost nothing gets changed. They basically take these two assholes whose name I can't remember and copy-paste them in random parts throughout the game where they say shit like, "Have you heard about Necrozma? This is super cool, dude. Don't worry, bro, the real game's gonna start eventually, just keep playing." Literally copy-pasted. As in, they kept the plot almost identical to the first game, with these guys just waltzing in and begging you to one-shot this little grape Fanta fucker at random points. The biggest changes come all at once near the end of the game, instead of spread out over the whole game. Makes sense, I guess. No, it doesn't. Or instead of going into Jellyfish Jam World and fighting this bitch, you watch the Church of Kokichi Oma pull a Lunala out of their ass and then suffer through the worst motion controls known to man. Okay, honestly, I'd go super in-depth about how these 20 minutes of playtime from arriving at the altar to getting out of this shithole made me want to go jump off a bridge a total of 49 times, but I honestly don't think I have the energy anymore. Just... Jesus, all I'm gonna say is that if the easiest way to beat the super boss is to cheese Toxic, then you aren't doing something right. And then, just, god damn it. At this point, I wanted the game to be over just so I could finish up the video. So, like, I guess I can say an attempt was made, but it wasn't a very good attempt. Okay, I will admit, there's some post-game this time. Holy cow, there's post-game. Bring it in, guys. Game Freak wins. It's over. We finally have a good game again. Jesus Christ. At least there almost is. I don't even have the motivation to go through it and experience it myself, but the Rainbow Rocket episode looks like it has even less content than XY's post-game episode. Do you remember that? At all? With the girl with the Esper? God damn, that was the most disappointing 3 hours of my life, probably. Okay, legends are cool though, that's a plus. I should bring this up too. For some reason, they cut out other parts of the story for no reason? What the hell? Do you remember the scene with Lily on that island? Removed from canon. Her interaction with Luzamine in Ultra Space? Removed from canon. The scene at the end where she goes to Kanto? Removed from canon. Sun and Moon's story was definitely more Lily-centric than it should have been. And yes, I know I'm super late on admitting that. I know. But removing this shit from canon doesn't do anything other than make me wonder why they removed it. Okay, real quick. Let's talk about competitive, since I had such a fun time screaming into my microphone. Actually, better idea. How about we don't fucking do that? Yeah, I owe y'all an apology. By the time I got to this point in the video editing process, my script for the competitive portion was already really outdated. So, and like, I don't put out any shit on my channel. You know, I only put out quality. And it should also be mentioned that I'm the worst VGC player ever, so like, anything that I say about the subject doesn't actually hold any meaning, so just fuck it, you know? So we're just gonna skip this portion, and if y'all are mad at me, then, like, I'm sorry. Pretty much the only things you need to know about VGC18 is, if you use ally switch, you're a PP head, Lambdoris, Incinerator's here now, every Arcanine got euthanized, thank fucking god, and go follow Monkey VGC on Twitter, he's a cool guy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave this funny joke in from my outdated recording, because I thought it was funny. Alright, peace out, y'all. You gotta counter all the shit that was in your face constantly before Sun and Moon, and now you also gotta counter little Calder from 5th grade who thinks it's funny to spam evasion moves on Chansey. Okay, so we're approaching the end of the video. Let's sum up what I've said so far. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's new additions do almost nothing to add on to the total gameplay experience, and treating it as a second playthrough of Sun and Moon just made me hate the game even more. So this brings up the essential question. Why even bother with this game? Why even bother with this franchise? Sun and Moon Sucks came at a time when I loved competitive Pokemon, and those same games made me realize that I hated it. Though I'll admit it was probably my fault for being stupid and trying to run Slowking, but anyway. But before comp, I used to do shiny hunting back in like 2014 and 15. And before that, I spent a good year trying to complete the XY Pokedex. Before that, it was just me playing Pokemon games how they were supposed to be played, I guess. But Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon doesn't have any of that. None of the things I used to love about Pokemon are enjoyable anymore. It's like the magic's just gone. I mean, Pokedex is already done, shiny hunting methods have been dumbed down into almost nothingness, and Jesus, just thinking about getting back into comp makes me want to rip my fingers off. So I'll base the last section of this video around a simple question. If Pokemon's gonna keep being like this, why even play Pokemon anymore? For the experience? For fun? For what? There's no doubt that Pokemon games have been on a fairly steady decline, as much as I don't want to admit it. I mean, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon don't even compare to the games that were around 5 and 6 years ago, well, at least in my opinion. But generally, it just feels like whatever you can do in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you can probably have a better time doing in Black and White 2 or Platinum or... fuck. I'd rather play through XY a third time than play this garbage. At least that game had some slight semblance of atmosphere. And you know what? That's what I did. I started a new file of Soul Silver this July just to see if I could fall in love with it again. But it just didn't work. For the past 5 years at least, I considered Heart Gold Soul Silver to be my favorite game. But as I sat there in front of the 8th gym with Pokemon that were at least 7 levels under Claire's, with no way or motivation to grind them up, I realized something. Maybe the problem wasn't with Sun and Moon. Maybe I'd just gotten too old. And I keep holding on to this hope that whatever new game or Gen 4 remake that comes out will just floor me and make me fall in love with the series all over again, but I'm not optimistic anymore. I'm not. Maybe that's the biggest problem with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That it's not for me. I've spent so much time talking shit about the music, the story, how broken everything is. But I'm sure that there are just tons of kids out there who think that this is the best game ever. And shit, maybe those kids will be the same people who will make Pokemon Ultra Hyper Zircon and Ultra Giga Jade Sucks in 10 years, where they'll complain about how Pokemon has gone downhill ever since they removed the Pokedex back in Generation 11. My biggest fear about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that this is the case. I keep touching on all these things, going on and on about how terrible everything feels. Maybe these issues don't even exist at all. Maybe my finger is just broken. I think that there's a good chance that I shouldn't dole out criticism for these games anymore. Maybe they're not for me at this point. Maybe I've just hit that point where I've grown up too much to enjoy these games anymore. Pokemon used to be my favorite franchise for almost my whole life, but now I have to force myself to even pick up a game again. I don't know, guys. Maybe that's just the way things ought to be. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that Black and White 2 are pretty much the greatest games ever made by man.